Marijuana was in the news this week big time, and Charlie Lynch was in the thick of it. He's emerged as a key figure in the national debate over medical marijuana. Charlie was convicted on federal charges in connection with his operation of a medical marijuana dispensary. His sentencing this week was postponed. Charlie Lynch and his attorneys, Reuven Cohen and Littrel, are with us tonight to tell us about what happened, or put another way, what didn't happen this week, why it was postponed, and what it all means. Glad to have you gentlemen here.
Thanks for having us.
Charlie, let me start with you. What were you expecting to have happened this week that obviously got postponed?
Well, I thought I was going to be sentenced to jail time, probably in the area of 5 years or more. And when the judge decided he wanted more information about the new policy, everybody's really surprised by his decision to find out more information about the new policy.
Mm-hmm. Reuven, from a legal standpoint, what happened this week?
What happened was that Judge Wu asked for the local prosecutors to go back to Main Justice in D.C. and get some sort of clarification on what Attorney General Holder has been saying over the course of the past 3-4 weeks. It's a matter of some debate. What we've been hearing from the Attorney General is that somehow now, in order to be prosecuted under the the Obama administration, you need to have both violated federal and state law, which is a sea change, a landmark change from what had really been the status quo under the Bush administration.
Of a zero-tolerance policy.
Of a zero-tolerance policy.
Right.
At our trial, the federal government, after millions of dollars, was able to prove that Charlie was dispensing marijuana from his marijuana dispensary. Mm-hmm. He had done that in complete compliance with state law. He had the mayor on his side. He had the local police department often coming in for coffee, the city attorneys. What the government does in all of these cases, or used to do, and now I think won't do anymore, is move to keep people like Charlie and lawyers like us from talking about compliance with state law. They used to try really hard, and they tried quite hard in our case, to keep us from bringing that to the forefront, because no jury really wants to convict someone like Charlie Lynch for doing what is legal here in California.
But what does this mean, though, John, for the conversation that we have been having in America for some time now about medical marijuana? This change from the Obama administration, from the Bush administration rather, to the Obama administration, which again your colleague seems to suggest may change how they prosecute or don't prosecute these cases. What does this postponement mean for medical marijuana and the conversation about it in this country?
Well, we're going to find out in terms of what it means for Charlie Lynch, but I think this is a change that everyone has seen coming for a long time. I think that politicians are coming to their senses. I think that with this administration, we're going to start to see some practical approaches to medical marijuana. I think what that's ultimately going to mean is legalizing it, making it available to patients who need it. I think that the administration is not going to be interested anymore in directing resources to prosecuting people like Charlie Lynch when we have real harmful drugs and the violence associated with that at the border.
Charlie, obviously the case got postponed this week. Give me your sense now of how you feel about medical marijuana, your role in it. You feel apologetic? You would still do it if you could? Give me a sense how you feel.
Well, I kind of feel like the federal government's been waging a civil war against the people of the state of California. And I'm hoping that the Obama administration's going to end that civil war and stop the prosecution, stop the raids, pull our brothers and sisters out of prison, and also not send me as a prisoner of this war to jail.
If you end up not having to go to jail and you, through whatever means, this case rather gets kicked out, you ready to go back into business again? You look forward to doing that again, or you learn something from this that you don't want to do this anymore?
Well, I felt like I was abiding by the California state laws, and if I was able to reopen the dispensary with the blessing of the city of Morro Bay like I had before, then, and I knew the federal government was not going to interfere with our constitutional and God-given rights, then I would definitely seriously consider opening a dispensary again. But I've got this other challenge ahead of me, though. The jail thing still.
Debate over medical marijuana is an emotional one. With us tonight, representing the pro side of this conversation, Montel Williams, host of Montel Across America, debuting April 6th on Air America. He has, as many of us know, MS, and has been very strong feelings then about those in pain being allowed to access and use the drug. He wrote the book, Living Well Emotionally. Stephen Baldwin, on the other side, so to speak, is an actor, talk radio host, and author. He opposes the legalization of marijuana. Montel and Stephen, glad to have you both on the program.
Thanks so much for having us. Absolutely.
Montel, let me start with you very, very simply and very directly. Why?
You know, I want to make sure that we get this characterized exactly right. I have never been a proponent of legalizing marijuana. I've been a proponent of making sure that a doctor who is trained and a specialist who understands how to prescribe medication, if that doctor chooses to prescribe medication for his patient, and that patient happens to be me, and he can put me on a morphine drip, and he also says that I also recommend this medication, then he should be able to do so, and the state should be able to allow him to prescribe that, and I should be able to get it. But here's what's so odd about this. When we talk about this topic, we don't ever talk from a place of truth. We always start with a lot of rumors and falsehoods, but the truth is, on May 10th of this year, the federal government celebrated a 30th anniversary of a program, Tavis, that was started under the first Bush administration, where the United States government has been dispensing marijuana every single month for 30 years to 25 people across the United States. Unfortunately, in the last 5 to 6 years, it's now down to 5 people because the other people have passed away. Our government grows it, it certifies it, it puts a USDA stamp on it, and every single month our government sends that medication out to 5 people across the United States. You can check this yourself. As a matter of fact, it was called the Compassionate Investigational New Drug Program. It started 30 years ago, May 10th. Every single month, through a program at the University of Mississippi, we, the federal government, and your taxpayer dollars goes to a program to grow marijuana and dispense it. Our country dispenses marijuana to patients who are ill. But unfortunately, this program got cut off to just now 5 people. So I asked you this question, and I'll ask this of Stephen. I'm not trying to legalize marijuana. I'm just trying to say, here's a government that's supposed to do no harm, a government that's supposed to be compassionate to all its citizens. What right does this government have to say that we are going to give medication to 5 people to let them be pain-free, and for all the rest of you, you go to hell. We're not going to help you. The program's closed. That's not appropriate in America today.